Saturday night, 28th of March 2020, day 3 of the COVID-19 quarantine here in New Zealand. What does one wear in the apocalypse? I thought I was well prepared, thinking of zombies, thinking of all kind of things, but what do you wear with COVID? And where do you draw the line? So I thought I'd show you one of my t-shirts. Don't worry, that's not a new COVID-19 edition. That is something from season 3 of The Walking Dead. And when I saw this t-shirt today, it actually got me thinking a little bit. And what I want to talk tonight about is death. I want to tell you a story. Quite a while ago, early 2000s, I was on call in the public system and a little lady had fallen down the stairs. She was brought by the ambulance into the emergency department and she was deeply, deeply unconscious. So I did the right thing. We secured her airway by putting a little tube into the windpipe. And then once she was stable and as safe as I could get her at the moment, we took her to the CT scanner and had a look. Turns out that, unfortunately, there was a catastrophic brain bleed. Her brain was absolutely not salvageable. In other words, this woman was bound to die without any doubt whatsoever. Around about that time when we had a CT scan, her 3 sons came in. They were all in their late 50s, early 60s. And I took them aside and started to breaking the news gently to them. I explained that their mum was really, really sick and then took them into the room where we could watch the x-rays and showed them the CT scan and tried to gently move down the road towards making them accept that her mum will not survive the night. At some stage, after a few sentences, the oldest son interrupted me and said, "Okay, when do we switch her off?" And I was gobsmacked. I was relieved because that was exactly what I would have liked to happen if this was my grandmother or mother. It was the right thing to do, not to prolong any suffering, although I'm pretty sure that there was no more consciousness in that body itself. But it was the right thing to do, to stop ventilating and take the tube out and let this woman pass away. What was absolutely astounding to me is that this man was so down to earth and just came out with it. Turns out that he and his 2 brothers were all farmers. And many years later, a friend of mine quoted to me, "Look, if you are looking after livestock, you also have to look after dead stock." So out here in New Zealand, I was introduced to death as being part and parcel of life. And I nowadays believe that this is exactly the way it should be. We are often protected from it. We are often living in a world there where we don't have the proximity to those people who are actually dying. I think this is something that we need to recognize, especially in these times. If you look at the statistics of Italy, we are basically killing off a whole generation. It's typically the elderly there, and at the moment we are at 0.15% of the Italian population is dying. These are tremendous figures, and at the moment it is certainly still the elderly, and it is male elderly that pass away. Why do I say that? We hopefully are able to deal with COVID-19 here in New Zealand and will not get the massive peaks that then lead to hospitals being overwhelmed and unnecessary death will occur. But death will occur. People will die. There is no way around it. What does that mean for me personally? Well, to start off with, this afternoon, what did we do as a family? We discussed wills and death and family trusts, etc. It's not something that comes easy, but it was something that was necessary and well overdue anyhow, as far as my family is concerned. We shied away from this topic and now it was time. Secondly, if you can talk to people in your family that are older and that you haven't spoken to for a while, do so. Give them a ring, give them a Skype call, etc. Because you do not know if this opportunity will actually occur again. Do not freak out, but do realize that death is part of our life and it might knock on your door sooner rather than later. And hopefully not with the aim of taking you, but it may very well be one of your elderly relatives that is in the firing line. So go out there and make your amends and talk to those people that are important to you. Lastly, if you think through, you've got a few days to spare, I guess 4 weeks in the case of New Zealand. If you are struggling for something to do, you could do far, far worse than actually writing your family tree down. Right now you still have good people around you that can help you. Those elderly that are in the firing line might be not just able to, but are actually very willing to listen to you and to tell their stories for prosperity, for eternity, so to speak. I have not had the chance to do that with my family. They all have passed away already. But I certainly have regretted that I did not take these opportunities when I had them. Life overtook me and nowadays I'm trying to piece the puzzle pieces together as much as I can with what I can find out there on the internet with places like Ancestry or MyHeritage, etc. Take the chance whilst you still have got it and talk to those people that you can and make the most out of it. So tonight, strange topic, death, but I guess between Ancestry, phone calls and thinking about your will and thinking about making amends, I think it is a topic which shouldn't be so scary, but it's something that you might wish to address in due course. So look after yourself, guys, out there. Lots of zinc, lots of vitamin C, lots of good yummy food, and stay away from everyone. Stay in isolation, don't be a dick. So stay in isolation and look after your family, look after yourself. Speak to you tomorrow.